Longtime BB&T investment advisor Charles Rusmisel joins us today as a candidate for treasurer in Alleghany County. Welcome, Charles.
Jerry, I appreciate you having me here.
Well, give the public a bit of background. Who is Charles Rusmisel?
Boy, that's an onion we're going to peel there, but I'm happy to get into it.
Yeah, we only have 2 hours here.
Perfect. Well, Charles Rusmisel is not a native of Alleghany County, and I have to admit, when I first moved here, people told me, it was in 1994, that it's going to take you forever to be considered a local here. Now, I've raised 4 boys here. My wife and I have made this our home, so I hope I've lived here long enough to at least get a green card to be able to work for the community. But in my entire career, I moved here with First Union Bank. I'm a graduate of Virginia Tech, I have a degree in international studies, minor in German with a concentration in economics, and after college got hired by Dominion Investment Banking in Roanoke, Virginia. Worked operations back office, processing trades and transactions, both stock and mutual fund, and then moving on to the bond desk where we traded government bonds as well as treasuries. And Dominion Bank was a little bit different. We actually inventoried bonds, so my job was to buy and acquire both government bonds, Fannie Mae's, Freddie Mac's, Ginnie Mae's, for our clientele. We buy them in usually $100 to $150 million lots, and then offer them to our clients, as well as buying municipal bonds of the state of Virginia, and direct treasury bills, notes, and bonds, and by request. So a client would call and say, I'm looking for a 20-year, this is the yield I'd like to get, and this is the credit rating. My job was to go out and find it. Moved up here with First Union after having worked as a bond trader and then a stockbroker with First Union, and came up here as a branch manager. So after the fall of Glass-Steagall, and financial advice was going to be available in bank branches, and I came up here as both a financial advisor, a Series 7 representative, and a branch manager, handling both investments and mutual funds. Or rather, mutual funds and loans for clients, the full banking experience and managing the branch on Main Street. Worked with First Union for a while, and with First Union, my job somewhat transitioned from the investment side to more of the banking side, helping clients and businesses and governments set up banking relationships on both the individual and the commercial side. After doing that for some time, I decided that brokerage is really where my heart was, and want to get back with working with individuals to help them reach their financial goals through financial products. So I left First Union and went to a couple firms, actually landing after 2 years with BB&T when they wanted to hire someone local to manage investments for the local clients. Since I was already living here, it worked out perfectly for me. And I currently cover from Bath County to Southern Augusta County, helping clients meet their financial goals with investment products, and making sure that they're customized for their risk tolerance, time frame, and experience investing.
Well, I mean, this is a wealth of experience. And how do you believe that experience translates to the job of being the local treasurer?
Well, there's a number of ways. The first thing is when you look at the job of the treasurer, primary job of the treasurer is to collect the taxes due to the county in an efficient manner, also collect fees, and any monies due to the county, whether that's the food tax or any other fees or expenses, and also disperse those as the Board of Supervisors says. Now, as a banker, primarily what I've done is always collecting money and then moving it to where it needs to be, whether that's in an investment firm, whether that's in a trust or what have you. And the proper accounting of those dollars is essential. But that's really just one aspect of what the treasurer does. It's one that a lot of people focus on, and it is very important. But the other aspect of what the treasurer does is to invest the funds of the county, to maximize the return of the county's assets, of the hard-earned cash and taxes of our citizenry. And I would hope that the treasurer has been doing that, but I do know that through my experience in working with the county in the past, through banking relationships, and also working with investments within the parameters that the state allows for the treasurer to invest funds, I believe I can maximize returns better than other candidates may be able to. The third part of it is really on a technology basis. You know, the world has changed, and unfortunately, our treasurer's office hasn't changed with it. Through my experience with banking relationships with other firms and what we offer at BB&T, not to say we're the only bank in town, certainly, I'm familiar with what's available and should be available to our citizens. You know, the treasurer's responsibility is to the Board of Supervisors to make sure we're collecting money, but their responsibility is also to the citizenry. I'm asking for your vote, and I've been asking for your vote because I realize that you are important as a citizen here in our county, and we should have the services available to you that are available to other places. We should have online access to tax bills. We should have online access to payments and easy online access to payments. We should have an auto debit system, and we should have credit card payments that aren't usury and cost too much and really make it inconvenient to make those payments. And that's one of the things I think my experience allows me to do because I'm familiar with all of these things.
You're a private sector guy. Why do you want to decide to have a government career? You have to admit that is a little bit of a change.
No doubt it's a change. You know, it really stems back from my upbringing. You know, I was raised in a family where my parents believed and I believed that you have a civic responsibility to serve your community. I've always done that as much as I can on a volunteer basis, served on many boards. I've offered my expertise to many folks in the community and many churches and foundations where questions were concerned about investment advice, and not investments they necessarily are placing with me, but guiding them as to the best place to utilize their assets, perhaps in other places. It just came to a point where looking at what the Treasurer's Office has done and offered in the past, and talking to so many people, including myself. I'm a taxpayer. I pay my water bills through the Treasurer's Office. I think there should be other options available, and standing on the sideline and saying, oh, get it done, isn't sufficient. You know, if I want it done, I need to stick my neck out there and say, I'm willing to do what it takes to get it done.
We've definitely been an active candidate, and we do appreciate, with all that activity, you stopping in and joining us to let the public know what you're up to.
Well, it's my pleasure. I'd certainly appreciate the opportunity. You know, come November, I want the support of the citizens here in Alleghany County. If I'm going to ask for their support, I need to let them know why I want their support and why I deserve their support. And it's not something where I think it's a one-day thing. You vote for me on November 5th, well, you're stuck with me for 4 years minimum, and I guarantee you, I'll be tenacious on your behalf. I will make sure that we apply technology to provide the services that I think that our citizens deserve.
Thanks very much. Yes.
Thanks a lot.